Alright folks, what is up? This is One Big Bugger and I'm coming at you with Euro Truck Simulator 2. And I think I've had about enough life drama up on my channel here for a little while. And I'd like to take it a little easier now. A couple of subjects I like to touch on just for the hell of it. One of them I may actually touch on in a vlog because I want to go a little in depth about it. But something else I want to touch on now. It's nothing big or important, just something I've been thinking of recently. Alright. Ooh. 49-ton Caterpillar. 280 kilometers. This pays actually significantly more, but you know we gotta go with the weight. We gotta go with the weight. And it's in a Volvo. Not a high top, but it's got... This looks like the 6x6 axle, so that's what we're going to run with. God, the rain. Alright, game. Yeah, lights. Okay. So, what I wanted to talk about is why are superhero movies so popular nowadays. Used to be that getting superhero movies to be popular was difficult, in all due honesty. And once I get up this hill, I gotta turn up the volume. Come on, baby. Yeah, big Volvo. Yeah, big Volvo. No problem. So, you know, there have been exceptions to the rule, like Superman 1 and 2 were really popular, where Superman 3 and 4 kind of, yeah. And then, you know, a couple of the first Batman movies were really good, but then Batman and Robin could almost like be called to single-handedly have nearly destroyed the superhero genre, even though that there were much more terrible movies out there. Come on, baby. First gear. Come on. Nope, first gear. We'll just hold the RPM. I'll get back to the subject in a second. Come on, don't make me shift. You can do it. Yeah. Alright, back in the truck. So, why are they so popular now? I mean, Avengers, Iron Man, Batman, Superman, you know, and they're talking about 15 more Marvel movies. At least 15 more Marvel movies. And there's going to be a whole bunch of Batman movies, not Batman, but DC movies as well, that will hopefully culminate in the Justice League, you know, coming together. So why is it so popular all of a sudden when it was more difficult? Well, honestly, I think the answer's fairly simple. There are a couple reasons. Number one, studios are now throwing huge amounts of money at these movies, and it all started with Spider-Man, to be honest with you. Yeah, Batman, you know, with George Clooney and all of that, you know, had some good ones, and they use like all practical effects. But Spider-Man was the first, in my eyes anyways, it was the first real movie to use special effects in terms of CG and cinematographics. You know, the fights, Spider-Man swinging through the city and doing things that Spider-Man does, you know, slipping into narrow gaps, and his acrobatics and everything like that. To me, you know, that was everything that superhero was supposed to be, and to me that's what kind of took off the genre in my eyes. So, oh, hello, coming up on my left. Since then, you know, people have taken, well, studios rather have taken to doing just that, using more cinema effects. And quite frankly, it's worked. It also helps that, you know, they've taken a much, in many cases, darker look. You know, they put a much darker, grittier look on superheroes. Like, you know, it worked perfectly with Batman. You know? Just want to make this corner here before I continue talking. Alright, I don't need my lights anymore. So yeah, it worked perfectly with Batman. You know, Batman, they took it from the George Clooney kind of campy, where they went even campier and campier as they moved along in the Batman series. And they took a much darker, more sinister, more serious look with some very good performances. And by my accounts, to be honest with you, in the Batman movies, the villains stole the show, except for the first one with the Scarecrow and Ra's al Ghul. But the Joker, and then Bane, the villains stole the show. The villains, you know, made it huge. And that that much darker, grittier outlook really made Batman, you know. And because Batman became so popular, they decided to redo Superman again and do along the same premises, a darker, grimmer look of Superman's origin story. And I know that some people are against the movie and some people are for. I'll be honest with you, I'm in the camp for the new Man of Steel movie. I really like it. I like its more realistic take on if somebody like Superman were to fight and have to deal with beings of his level in a city, you know? But be that as it may, and, you know, this transferred over to Iron Man, which they did a wonderful job. And, you know, now they've done Thor, which, was, you know, not too bad, but, you know, it wasn't great. And then the Avengers movies. And my personal favorite, and the most recent up to this point, the Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, I love the Guardians, man. Rocket and Groot stole every freaking scene they were in. But that's why even an obscure, well, not really obscure, but a not mainstream, not main vein comic book team like the Guardians can be so popular. The studios are throwing money at these huge budgets, and they're using and they're using a kind of a combination of practical and special effects very, very well. The special effects allow studios to bring the powers and abilities of each superhero and villain to life. It was only, you know, like I said, back towards when Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire really got rolling, that people stood up and noticed that, you know, things are going somewhere in terms of effects. And I'm so looking forward to a lot of the movies coming out now, you know, and a lot of things that they're planning. Stopping too short. There we go. So, what else can you say? I mean, let's take Guardians, for instance. Look at the effects in Guardians, and if you haven't seen it, it's out on DVD, and it's on places like Amazon Prime and all that. Go freaking watch it, please. But yeah, it's unbelievable. It's truly, totally unbelievable. The effects, I mean, bringing Rocket to life. I mean, a lot of it has to do with the actor behind it as well, don't get me wrong, but the facial expressions, the body language, the movement, Groot, everything, it's so unbelievable the way that they brought everything together, you know. And there's just so much more to come. And I'm just so looking forward to it. And to me, that's why superhero movies are so popular now. It's because of how much they can do. You know, and they're even looking at the possibility of another semi-obscure Marvel franchise. I think they're The Outsiders or something like that. I know about them. I've read about them. I know a little bit about them. I've read a few comics about them having to do with the Fantastic Four when I was in comic books. So I'm not unfamiliar with them, and even if I have the name wrong. But the truth is, you know, just straight up, it would be amazing if they brought that franchise and did the same thing with that they kind of did with the Guardians, you know. The only thing I'm not, like, overly fond of is, like, the X-Men. I don't know, the X-Men seems to be where they're falling a little bit weak. You know, I just feel like the X-Men is where the Marvel franchise is just not as good. The Wolverine Origins and Days of Future Past and all that, just, they don't impress me as much. So I actually haven't gone to watch an X-Men movie in the theaters. But when Guardians came out, I went and saw it twice. Getting me out into a theater to see a movie is something different, because at my size I don't fit in those chairs very well, and I don't particularly enjoy getting stared at walking into a movie theater, getting into those chairs. I really don't. But putting all that aside, not only did I see Guardians once, I went and saw it twice, which is even more impressive because, quite frankly, I'm poor. Movies is something I actually have to think about. Like Avengers, I don't know if I'll go see Avengers Age of Ultron in the movie. I really don't. But they come out with a Guardians sequel? Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll be there. You know, I was actually hoping that would take up a little bit more time. Because I don't want to overtalk that, you know. I can only say so much about it. The other subject I'm thinking about talking about is going to take considerable time to go over, and that's why I may do it in a vlog. It's all about where AAA games have gone wrong, because as you may know, recently major things are happening kind of in the gaming world where, you know, basically a lot of people are getting fed up with AAA titles being released and being extremely buggy. And I need to slow down. Okay, I want to make sure I'm going slow enough. They're extremely buggy and in many cases incomplete. And the biggest offender of this right now is Assassin's Creed Unity, which for PC has been unplayable. And another big offender now apparently is the Master Chief collection for Halo, which has been having massive problems with the multiplayer, and even in many cases with the most recent patch just crashes in the menus. Now I don't know if that's been fixed as of this time or not. I don't play Halo. I'm not a first-person shooter kind of guy anymore. But you know, AAA titles have gone very, very wrong, and I want to talk about why this happened and what made it possible, and you know, and not specific, but where in general did this start happening, and what we as consumers, gamers, can do about it, because things are getting worse. Now we have companies that are not going to release review copies of games to reviewers until after the game is released. So that means you're not going to get any information about the game in terms of does it hold up to what's being promised. Is it playable? Is it good? Until after it's been released. A lot of people already have it. So yeah, that's pretty mean. That's taking what I like to call publishers' tyranny to a whole new level in my eyes, you know. There's just no reason for that, you know. And you know, when talk big offenders, there are a couple more that come to my mind and give you more of an idea what I'm talking about, even though you may already have a good idea. And that's games like Battlefield 4, which from what I understand to this day still has a lot of problems. Please don't just move over. You know what? Move over. Let's just see if you come out. Yeah, you know what? It's cool. I'll be nice guy. Normally I just brood through, but you know what? Let's just play it right this time. But Battlefield 4, definitely massive issues. Rome, Total War 2, unbelievable amount of issues. The game was not even nearly complete. I mean, basically, it was released in beta form, as far as I can tell. And there was one more I was actually thinking of, but I can't remember quite off the top of my head now that I kind of like... and zip. Okay, we're good. Yeah, but there was one more, and if I remember, I'll tell you. But now this isn't to say all games are terrible or bad when they come out. Far Cry 4 has been getting good reviews in terms of playability and PC porting over and all that. And oh, I remember now. Watch Dogs. When Watch Dogs came out, it was nowhere near what we were shown in terms of... I don't own it, but it was nowhere near what we were shown in terms of graphics, what it would look like on high end and things like that. And then come to find... And there was all kinds of problems and bugs with it as well. You're just going to keep coming, aren't you? Yep, this is going to be that no-end traffic. Alright, not too bad. We only scraped the grass. That's fine. So, yeah. You know, I want to talk about why big companies have started this. What has allowed it to come to this. Oops, sorry. And more importantly, what can we do to let it be known how we feel? The only problem out of it all is simply this: will people do it? Will people do what's needed to let big companies and AAA title games know this is not okay? And if I'm to be honest with you, I don't think so. Alright, I'm just double checking the frame rate. It's really bad in this city. And I think part of it has to do with this mirror, if I'm to be honest with you. I really need to get the small mirror mod so it renders smaller mirrors. It does help marginally. It honestly does. Alright. I am literally going to take up the middle of this road to make this corner. Just to be on the safe side. Alright, it was a double wide. Oh, I gotta sneeze, and I don't want to. Looks like I want to go this way, huh? Swing it wide, my boy. We're gonna need it. Perfect. Oh, I went down the wrong road. Oops. Oh well. So we take a little bit of extra travel time with our trailer. Not the first time I've made this mistake. Won't be the last. Well, how nice of you, Light. I really appreciate that. Actually, I hope the entrance to this place is right there, or else I've driven past it without realizing it. Because this actually looks like the building where the entrance is elsewhere. I've kind of seen it before. Ooh, that was close, but I managed. Yeah, see, I don't see the entrance where it says the entrance should be. So that means I've already driven past it while thinking I had gone past it to begin with. I didn't recognize it at first, but I see it now. Okay, green light. Yeah, I knew I wasn't wrong. The entrance just isn't here. Oh. It is here. I drove right past it. Okay. Just color me a fool. It happens. Hello. Alright, so I was wrong. Won't be the first. It wasn't not the first time. Won't be the last time. At least we're here. On time. And that's what matters. Oops. Oh, come on. Alright, thank you. Not a bad run. It went really, really smoothly. It was nice. It's a nice break, a nice change. And we got a level. So now we can unlock fragile cargo. Alright, folks. So that's going to be me done for this video. I hope you've enjoyed this quick little run as much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you. Until next time, this is going to be One Big Bugger. I am going to be signing out. I'll see you then.